Hey guys, it's time for a super special video brought to you by me and my good friend Beltfed. A few of you have known this was coming for a while. A few of you have been curious as to what this mythical project was, and patient to the point where I'm fairly sure you forgot. Well, this is it, and let me tell you, it was an odyssey getting this thing made. The audio was recorded for this video 2 years ago, just after we did the Building a Better Earthrise one. Then, almost the next day before he was ever able to send me his files, his computer broke, and it broke bad. It took months to get it fixed, and when it finally was, he thought the drive that had the audio on it had been wiped. So for over a year, we proceeded with this wistful, damn, that was a really cool thing we made to get blasted into the ether attitude. But then suddenly out of nowhere, Belt found the file, nestled away somewhere safe, and he sent it to me. Literally only 1 week after I'd reinstalled Windows, where I'd forgotten to back up my Windows audio recorder files, since that's not where I usually tape my show. So now my half of the video was well and truly lost. But the good news about that is that even though Belt had been using headphones, they were playing loud enough for audio pollution, which meant that if I cranked the volume to a dangerous degree, I could hear what I was saying during the recording and use that as a template to, as faithfully as possible, recreate my audio. Then over December 2024, I spent well over 100 hours editing this thing together. And let me tell you, that was probably a really bad decision because I was already burning out then. So putting an extra 100 hours of work in probably wasn't really super wise, but I really wanted this done before Christmas, and well, I think it's gonna be April by the time this video goes live, so that worked out great. Now you may be like, holy crap, PE made a video that has 100 hours of editing put into it? This thing has to be amazing. But you need to understand, this file was both cursed from the very start, and this shit was fucking haunted. A whole lot of the editing was just flat out not working the way it was supposed to. Like, for some reason, I had a video track that was scaling itself larger by 1.5% every time I cut it. I don't know why the computer was doing it, and I didn't notice it was happening for a very long while, which meant I had to go back through and edit hundreds of cuts progressively down 1.5%. And then I just had to delete that whole thing and start over because the video file was now at 0% size and it could not get any smaller, but it was still bigger than the entire screen. Then there's just the fact that there's a lot of editing that was actually a ton of effort, but doesn't look the most impressive. What this is going to be is mostly just an animated storyboard. Kind of like my Building a Better Earthrise and Siege, just with a bit more production value than that. I did finish this video back in December, by the way. Unfortunately, there were a few errors with the final product after all was rendered out, and I kind of needed to rebuild myself emotionally after spending so much time getting this ready, so it's only coming out now that I've actually managed to fix everything that was wrong with it. Lastly, I wanted to address the fact that there are a few AI-generated images in this video, and some backgrounds where I used AI to expand the frame to give the shot more area to work with. I'm fairly uncomfortable with them being there myself, and I was questioning whether or not I should remove them and just redo them entirely by hand, but I came to the conclusion that you're not here to see the AI. None of the content that matters came from it. You are here to see the video that me and my friend made together, and the only reason the AI shots exist is to save my sanity, because I could go through and make all the frames bigger myself. I've done that before in my videos. I mean, it takes like 4 hours per frame, and there's like 100 background frames in this video, but I could do it. I could make my own CGI model of a character for a transformation. I mean, just making the model itself would take me around like 80 hours on its own, but I have a degree in that. I could do it, but it would be on screen for 3 seconds. I can't tell you how much it would destroy me to do that much work for that little payoff right now. When it's not even the point of the video. That stuff is just there so I avoid slapping you in the faces with empty black shots every now and then, hurting the flow of what you're watching. If you're disappointed with me, I get it, I 100% do. I am not comfortable having this in here myself. It feels too much like profiting from other people's work. But if I drew the line there, then this video couldn't exist, period, since it's based on the Transformers, a thing that is someone else's work. Now, the shot of Waspinator animating is not AI, that was all me, and it is one of the effects I'm most proud of in the video, and it took way less time than much crappier effects. In fact, there are multiple Waspinator effects I'm really proud of in this. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. I poured my heart and soul into bringing this to life, and while me and Belt plan to make more of these in the future on his channel, don't ever expect me to put this much work into anything again. I swear I will spontaneously combust if I try to put this much effort in a second time on anything else. Sorry about the AI, it's like 1% of the video, and even still I hate that it's there. And welcome to the first lost episode that never was. Oh, also, there is a major continuity error I accidentally made in regards to the actual show. Can you figure out what it was? Alright, you and me, we're gonna do something fun.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so are we gonna do an episode or a season? An episode.
Okay.
Second, what's the series? Okay, we're off to a good start. Beast Wars.
Beast Wars. What about Beast Wars?
You'll learn. All right. 7.
I am very curious as to what this is.
Oh, I'm sure you are. Okay. This is either going to end up very interesting or very stupid, depending on how it goes. It's a 90-10 split.
Stupidly interesting, eh? All right.
Okay. Okay, wow, we're already in trouble. Tigerhawk.
What about that OP plot hole?
Cheetor.
Cheetor? Oh, good. What is this, dude?
You'll see soon.
I fear what cometh.
Okay, so Cheetor twice. So I guess he'll be the most prominent, unless someone else gets more, which I don't think they will. Rhox.
Okay, so are we living large or what?
You'll see. Black Arachnia, Rattrap, and all right. So okay, Waspinator. Pitch me an episode of season 3 of Beast Wars with Cheetor as the lead, with Tigerhawk, Rhox, Rattrap, and Black Arachnia as supporting characters, and Waspinator as the only opponent. Only Waspinator. You can only use him. He's the only Predacon in this episode of season 3. Belt?
Hold on. Cheetor, Rhox, Black Arachnia, Waspinator, and what's his nuts?
Tigerhawk. We got Cheetor twice, so he's the
No, don't tell me just yet. Let me
So this has to be an episode where Cheetor gets character development.
All right. So we open up with the usual kind of setting, right? Rhox is tinkering on something like maybe a bomb, maybe like some kind of plan that Primal has him on. The thing is, Primal's out scouting, so he's not even on screen. He's off with Dinobot doing some shit off in Carajo land, okay?
This is season 3, so Dinobot's dead.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So we're at season 3, so Dinobot's dead, right? All right. We're at, how far into season 3 are we?
Well, that's entirely up to you. The only reason that this is season 3 is because Tigerhawk's in it.
All right.
It didn't draw like any of the guys who are dead.
All right. So Optimal Optimus is out on patrol, doing some whatever with depth charge. So they're just off screen, right? Not even worrying about them. All right. Rhox is sitting there. He's tinkering on something, probably trying to work on the security system, something. Cheetor's
being Cheetor.
Yeah, Cheetor. So we got Transmetal 3 Cheetor, which means we got horny douche teen Cheetor. That's what we got right now. So that Cheetor paired up with Rhox, who is desperately trying to get their ship systems and the Arch security systems to synchronize so that they're not having to pull these double and triple shift security duty like they've been having to do this whole season, right? Like, because the Predacons have been knocking on their door left and right. Like, it has not been an easy ride for them at this point. They've been getting, like, besieged practically, okay? So him getting that security system online, him coming up with a countermeasure really seems like something that the big, that the big beast would be focused on. Not only as a way to protect his team, but also as a way to help his boy Primal relax a bit. And also, as an added bonus, it would get Rattrap to shut the fuck up for 5 seconds. Because then he wouldn't be constantly complaining about the fact that the Preds are about to show up any minute and blow them all the kingdom come, So it's like, all right, I could definitely see Rhox having a hyper focus on getting all of this done, trying to get some security set up, and Cheetor, pacing around the background, is over here thinking, I know how I can help. Look, we need security relays, so the best way for us to do that is to get like cameras or something, right? So I'll go and I'll put cameras all out on the perimeter, and since I'm the fastest one on the team, it'll be a cinch. No big deal, no risk. Plus, I've been needing to break in this new body and everything, so, it just seems like a really good idea for me to show my skills and do something positive and good for the team for once. Rhox is iffy. Wait, Rhox is kind of iffy on it because this sounds a little too altruistic, especially for Cheetor. More on that later, because it's not. Good.
I'm sitting here, and originally I was thinking that this is going to be like an episode where like Cheetor gets character development, so like all the other Maximals are trying to kill Waspinator, and he's like, no, I'm going to let you go. You've suffered enough. But now I'm wondering if what you're going to do here is that Cheetor loses to Waspinator, and Waspinator for once gets to be a threat.
Okay, so we're going to find out that his reasons for wanting to, set up this perimeter with this surveillance equipment to, at least help set up some kind of defense, maybe like, hey, come on, Rhox, I got a real high speed idea, right? I'm going to run out way far out, as far as I can, okay? And I'm just going to start putting out surveillance drones, all right? Every couple of clicks, I'm just going to drop one, all right? They're not even going to see me. It's going to be quick. I'm going to do this super pro style, all right? He's just going to run out, drop cameras so that they can track the Preds, and so that they can at least get some kind of early warning, so that they can at least try to get those finicky guns that the Ark has online, and try to get their security systems synced up, or at least get their fortifications up. Something, anything to help them get an edge. I really want to emphasize that Rhox is really stressed about it, which is why he's glued to this desk for this episode, because I don't want him to get too heavily involved with the main force behind Cheetor. I don't want him to be able to dedicate any brain power to, this seems like slag. You know what I mean? I don't want him to be able to do that. So he's hyper focused on, I gotta get this shit working. You know what? Whatever. You know what? That anything's better than nothing, and eyes on is information, and we are desperately in need for some kind of early warning system, since AirRazor isn't around anymore these days, or Tigertron.
And you could be leaning into like how their power systems are constantly shorting out. So that's like why they can't have the guns on all the time.
Right. Which is why he needs an early alert system. He needs like the cameras or the drones up so that they can spot the Preds, so that they can know that they're coming, so that they can go, okay, who are they sending? Oh, okay, Megatron's coming himself, so we're going to need more defenses than we need firepower, so we need to get the shields up rather than worrying about guns, stuff like that. So on paper, this sounds like a really good idea, and it sounds like Cheetor is doing something really big for the team, right? Right. Now, that's when it hard cuts over to, after Rhox is like, all right, I'll figure out a way to get these drones set up. You go limber up whatever you need to do to get your head in the game. You cannot screw this up. Prime can't come help you. No one can help you out there if you mess this up. Do not do this. Cheetor's like, don't worry about it. I got it. Rhox just kind of looks at him, kind of like arcs a brow, like,
Oh, no.
Exactly. I got a bad feeling. But I ain't in the position to argue. You know what I mean? Like one of them. Like that setup. So Cheetor's like, haha, yep, you know what? You're not going to regret it. And then he starts walking away, kind of rubbing his hands together when... And neither is she. And then, it plays that little doom 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 music fucking sting that they always play, whatever.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, and it like, and it just kind of like flashes over to him walking along, and then Rattrap leaning up against like the wall, like almost like he's expecting him to come, and he's like, all right, so what's the deal? And he looks at him and he goes, can you believe it? Your plan worked. Rhox totally bought it. Now I'm going to get to show Black Arachnia who's really the top cat when it comes to prowling out there in the jungle out on his own. That's what this is all about. It's all about him getting to flex. It's all about him getting to flex for Black Arachnia. Rattrap, who is bored and wanting to stir the pot, just kind of wants to stir the pot a little bit. He's still a little raw from Dinobot.
And I got you one better, because it turns out that the reason that he thinks that he has the opportunity right now is because Silverbolt is also off with Optimus, so he's like, oh man, your boyfriend isn't hanging out with you right now? Oh, great.
Exactly. Like that's what Rattrap uses in this. It's like, yeah, well, if I was you, and if I was in your position, I would be looking at the current battlefield. Take it from me. An experienced saboteur. Your main opposition is out in the field, in the fray, and no way to call home to his sweetheart. You have the perfect opportunity to strut your stuff and make yourself look good. And I don't mean just good, kid. I mean perfect. You know, like he really strokes his ego. It's like, you know, you're the only one on the team that's, aside from Optimus, that's like super puffed up, you know? Like, you know, he just gasses him up. Because it's like, yo.
And here's the thing. Cheetor, like, kind of clues in. He's like, wait, why aren't you going after her? And he just goes like, oh, we got too much in common.
Yeah, it's like, exactly. He's like, yeah, you know, she's not my type, kid. I'll be trying to trick her. She'd be trying to trick me. I'd be doing shit to make her embarrassed and or jealous. She'd be doing the same thing. You know, opposites attract and all that. She likes little hero boys like you. Don't look a gift horse in the mouth, okay? You know what I mean? Like, it would be that kind of shit. And all this, and the big joke about this is that it's all like a big nod to that season 1 episode where Dinobot talked Cheetor into doing something stupid right off the jump. Just kind of proof that even in season 3, it seems that Cheetor still hasn't learned all the way. So, let's try and capitalize on Cheetor at this point, right? He's the hormonal, I need to prove myself, she's hot, and he can't take no for an answer. She's made it very clear she's not interested, so of course Rattrap's got to kind of play into that. You know, this is the 90s, so we got to lean into that BS machismo bad hookup advice. You know, like the bad pickup artist advice, and Rattrap is the perfect sleazebag to do this. You know? So it would be like, yeah, nah, kid, I'm totally on your side. Look, normally I'd be ready to shoot anybody in the foot. But you know what? I'm gonna be real. I'm not even doing this because I like you. I'm doing this because I feel bad. I'm watching you struggle. Like, he would play it up like that, alright? At least in this episode. We're leaning into the scumminess of Rattrap. Like, we're leading into the fact that, no, Rattrap's literally only a good guy because he's on parole, all right? Like the perpetual fuckbot, you know, as a popularized term in the late 20-teens, a hobo-sexual, meaning a homeless man who drifts from woman's couch to woman's couch using manipulative tactics, usually armed with nothing but a laundry bag full of clothes and a video game console. Rattrap incarnate. It's not my fault that it triggers people and makes them think of every bad decision they've ever made, and that's what this episode is for. Alright, Rattrap giving like some Andrew Tate grade bad advice. Like, it's like, oh no, you wanted to know what you're about? Alright, so here's what you do. Now that you get your big important mission, you're gonna strut out there, you're gonna ignore it completely, knock her out of your way a couple of times. Be like, hey yo, toots, I got stuff to do. Fast boy, beelining it towards the objective. I ain't got no time for no curves, if you know what I mean. And give her one of these. And then he freaking does the Pablo face.
I don't think that existed back then.
You know what I mean, though. You know who I'm talking to. Yeah. Just he arcs that brow, he bites in on them cheeks, sticks out that lip a little bit. You just give him one of these. But since he's got them buck teeth, it just totally screws it up. And it's like this goofy look. So of course this awkward teen Cheetor who thinks he's tough walks up to her with his chest all puffed out, and knowing how this guy looks, knowing how Transmetal 2 Cheetor looks, I want you to imagine him trying to strut with his chest out like he's the man of men, you know, the cat's meow, as it were.
And here's something that you can do is that when he tries to make the face that Rattrap showed him, he does it like the exact same way that Rattrap showed him how to do it.
Right, exactly.
And then like Black Arachnia laughs and he thinks that's a good sign.
Exactly. So she's like laughing after he's like, hey yo, beat it, toots. I ain't got time for your figure eights or whatever. And I gotta split like a banana or whatever. And then he does the face. And then she just starts howling, like cackling, dude. Like she can't, like barely can contain herself.
And she's like doubled over. He looks back at Rattrap and just gives him like the double thumbs up.
Right, he gives Rattrap like the double thumbs up, and Rattrap is like crouched behind like a computer console or some shit, right? Like leaning up behind it, and like looks over, and he's in rat form doing like the double thumbs up, like you know, literally me suck it. It's like just this episode would be called Rat Bastard. You know, it would just be called Rat Bastard, right? It would just, and you're gonna be shocked. There is an actual hero to this story, all right? It's not who you think it is. So she's doubled over laughing. He goes and gets the drones, and this thing,
Based on what you just said, I think that the hero is going to be Tigerhawk, and he's going to drop that like real sage advice on Cheetor because he's both Tigatron and Air Razor combined.
I see where you want the train to go. But this is Galaxy Railways Beltfed. Daka. Okay, this is the rapid fire railway, all right? We're taking you on a journey. Hop on the micro missile and go for a ride. A journey straight to the target, all right? So he's got this specialized backpack that is meant to fit him perfectly. This thing is so built that you would swear it is meant to be a toy accessory. It's got a backpack. It's got a launcher on it, and it literally fires the drones out on like a spike rod thing that slams itself into the ground. It's super cool. It literally looks like a 90s spring-loaded missile toy that mounts to Cheetor's back, and it goes on beast mode, and when he's in bot mode, it's like a War Machine style shoulder cannon. This thing is sick. Like, it is a special edition armored up version of him. He is...
Buy it now.
Yeah, buy it now. He is armored up. Buy it now. Get it now. If you don't get it now, I don't know what to tell you. All right? Literally that. Money me now. Give me your money. Money me. Cheetor looks at the screen. Hey kids, get mom and dad to swipe that card. And then they're like, oh man, mom, dad, you gotta see this shit. Cheetor look cool as fuck. And then immediately we're all getting our mouths washed out with soap, but that's okay because the commercial is on at this point, so they can afford to miss it. Point is, by the time everybody's back from getting disciplined from how badass of a reveal, I want you to understand this is the one time that Transmetal 2 Cheetor gets to look really cool. He's no longer like all asymmetrical and mashed up. He's got like a face mask that covers up the ugly beast face, so he looks like this cool, like, let's lean into that War Machine idea, right? He's like this badass mech suit version of himself. And when he transforms into his freaking cheetah mode now, it looks like lightning spikes with a missile launcher on top. Like the freaking thing gives him an extra booster, so he's even faster. And he's got claws that flip out now, so they look like big long-ass cheetah cleats, and they allow him to dig and do pinpoint turns. There is no reason why Cheetor will have a problem with this mission, and we are hyped to see this, because finally, he's getting a spotlight. He's getting an upgrade that makes sense. Oh my god, this is why he had that weird design. This is why all of that, those odd twists and turns were made with him. This is why he never becomes that character that we thought he would. This is why none of that stuff stuck. It was leading to this. It was leading to Voyager class. No. Like, what was the big ticket class for the Beast Wars line for the Transmetal?
The Ultra class.
This is Ultra Transmetal 2 Cheetor. This is Ultra Cheats. Cheetimus Maximor. Oh shit. Cheetimus Maximor. No, wait. Ultra Cheetimus Magnus.
No, I think that Cheetimus Maximal was better.
Cheetimus Maximor?
Yeah.
It's Maximor, not Maximal. What do you think? Cheetimus Maximor or Cheetimus Maximal?
What about Maximus?
How about Maximal?
Okay, yeah, that works.
Like, as in, yeah, Cheetamus Maximal. And then, like, you know, he transforms and he's got big ass Wolverine claws now in his bot form, you know? And he's really leading into it. Like, we're getting some Scott McNeil. He's like, this is him replicating Rattrap. So we're getting Cheetor trying to do a Scott McNeil's Wolverine before X-Men Evolution. All right. So that's what we're getting with this. So I want you to imagine he transforms and it actually looks cool. And then he flips those claws out and it just goes, and we actually get a nod to X-Men, and it makes the sneak sneak sound, and it runs a little spark of energon electricity up the claws, and he just does a little yeah. Now this is high gear. And then Rhinox looks and goes, a real cut above the rest. You know, something like that. We really want this toy to sell, all right? If this toy sells, yeah, y'all will get Predacon Colors Rhinox. Oh, yeah, you're going to get him, all right? This guy's got the lights. He's got the sounds, like the claw snick snick sound effect comes out. He's got 2 different types of watch batteries. All the double A's, you know, it's...
I'm not hearing the snick snick sound effect when these come out. It's going to be like, ching ching.
Oh, yeah. But you know what? Yeah, the hyper 90s. Shing! Like the almost computer MIDI sound effect. Like this, yeah, super mainframe. Shing, shing. You know, that, you know... So then he's all geared up. He's all ready. And then Rattrap's even like, hey, you know what? Maybe this idea of mine might work out for the best. You know, best case scenario, the kid's victorious. Worst case scenario, I get a laugh. And who knows? Maybe Black Arachnia might even look my way when she realizes I duped the kid into getting himself slagged. I've done her a favor. Look at me, Rattrap the feminist. My sister just gagged. All right, so you still on board so far, bro? You enjoying the ride? All right, cool. All right. So, you know, so Cheetamus Maximal. God, I actually like this name. Cheetor-miss. Yeah, because he needs... Cheat, I need you to hear this name. Cheat or miss. Maximal. He's ready. He's got the backpack drone launcher. He's ready to go. And you know what? Just to make sure that everyone can follow him, he launches a drone right at the edge of the base. He's jumping in place. He's cracking his knuckles. He's limbering up like a true athlete, dude. He is ready. He is focused. He is ready to show that he has it all. The power, the speed, the skill, the brains to come up with this plan. And you know what? He's going to give it all up. He's got to thank Rattrap for this new attitude, this new vibe, this new look, this new feel. This cheater miss.
See what happens when Waspinator gets added to this.
Maximal. And off he goes. And then we're getting that, you know, the Cheetor. Like when he's like really like booking it, just hauling. Like he's just hauling ass, right? And it's actually really cool. They show out with the CGI. They are trying to sell this figure, dude. They are trying to sell it. They show his transformation from every angle the same way every time. He's doing backflips, shooting the drones out.
If they sell this hard enough, season 3 doesn't get cut early.
There you go. This is to save season 3. This is why season 3 got cut, because this episode didn't happen. This toy didn't come out. And then he's like posing into the camera, doing like thumbs up and blows a little kiss to Black Arachnia with a little head nod and everything. And she's looking through the camera like, why do I have to do this? And then Rhinox is like, because I'm busy. I gotta get the rest of this.
Voiced by your sister in this one.
Yeah, she's literally voiced by my sister in this episode and gags. All right. And then it cuts over to Rhinox, and then he looks and goes, because I'm busy. I don't get these things online and functioning properly, and the next time those cons show up, we're slagged. Now quit complaining and keep an eye on the cat. And then she just sits there and looks and shrugs and goes, whatever. And then she just types up something with those imposter claws, pulls up a screen and basically does screen within a screen before it was a thing.
And she's like, why isn't he doing it? And she points at Rattrap.
Right.
And Rhox is like, do you really...
Right, exactly. Do you really think I would trust him to keep an eye on Cheetor while he's doing something so... And then Black Arachnia blinks. Stupid? Important. And stupid. Stupidly important. Right. So she does window within a window before it's a thing. And then she's just like, whatever. Pulls up some of her own notes and starts like typing something. And it's like a message to like Silverbolt. You don't see a reply to him or anything, but you know that she's just typing. And you see her go from really annoyed and like pissed off to like, gets this little subtle grin on her face. And you see her typing go from like, to like, you know, subtle little nods like that to where she's like, well, if I gotta watch something lame, I may as well occupy my mind with something decent. You know, that kind of thing.
If I'm going to watch something lame, then it might as well be something lame that I like.
Right. There you go. No, if I'm gonna watch something lame, I may as well talk to something lame that I like. You know? And then she goes on to it and she's just halfway paying attention to Cheetor, which is when this shit happens. Now, Cheetor, running along, max speed, notices he's being followed. But the thing is, he's known he's being followed this whole time. He's been letting him know. He's like, check it out, cats. This guy doesn't think I've got eyes on him. What he doesn't realize is, I've already done a couple of circles around him. Turns out old Buzzbud over here thinks I don't know he's right on my 6. At least as much on my 6 as I'm ever going to let him get. I'm going to let him taste a bit more of my dust, and then he's going to get the claws. But, I think I'm going to let him hang back for a bit. You guys have any problems with that? Black Arachnia typing, yeah, sure, whatever. Do whatever you want, Fancy Feast. No complaints here. Yeah, I figured you'd say something like that. Then you'd probably pull something lame like, so you think all 8 of those legs are gonna be tied up later? You know, if you let me. To which she stops and looks right at the camera and goes, looks like you've got a bit of a bug problem there, Flyboy. And then he looks and he's like, huh? What are you talking about? And then right when he says, what are you talking about? You hear, no! Waspinator's plans come to fruition! And then we get the fucking static screen pop up. All right? Cut to commercial. Dun, 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 dun. Now, I know what you're thinking. This has to be the part where Tigerhawk shows up and saves the day. Kind of.
Is it going to turn out that Tigerhawk was already captured?
Tigerhawk. No. Tigerhawk swoops in, blocks that first rocket shot with his wing, smacks the second one away, flies into the drone, blows it up. He looks at Waspinator. And before he can even say his first line of his little haiku, Cheetor Miss Maximal springs into action. Rawr! Watch out, Tigerhawk! This buzzboy's mine! Nobody bugs me on my big day and gets away with it! You know, something lame like that. Tigerhawk puts one hand on his shoulder. I understand your need to fight. But there are other ways. They stop. They all lock eyes. Waspinator just kind of stares at him for a second, looks around real shifty, transforms and buzzes off. Cheetor gets ready to chase after him, gets grabbed by his tail. Like comedic style. Grabbed by his tail. Because, you know, Tigerhawk's just that fucking strong. This is when Tigerhawk tries to give him the moral of today's episode. Why are you out here? What are you talking about? I'm out here so I can slag that con and let everybody know who's the real top cat. Really? I thought you were scouting, taking up the reins for that which is the reason why I even function, once held in high regard. I thought this was supposed to be some noble mission, and yet I've only watched you catch your own reflection in cameras. What is this really about? Cheat or miss? And they just kind of stare at each other, right? And you know Cheetor, he hates being called out. Hates it. It's like, nah, I'll tell you what this is about. This is about me finally getting a chance. I'm gonna get to show everybody what I'm capable of. I came up with this plan. Rattrap helped me get the confidence to let everybody know what I'm capable of, and I'm gonna prove it. And how do you plan on doing that? I'm gonna take out that con once and for all. Nobody seems to be able to deal with that bug. I'm gonna squish him for good.
Ah yes, bullying Waspinator, a true test of your martial prowess.
Exactly. I'm gonna take down that weak-ass bug that you guys never seem to be able to slag. I'm gonna take him out personally, 1v1, once and for all, and when that bug bot's head is mounted on my wall, you guys are gonna finally give me some respect. And when the camera is pointing at the crater I left behind, you guys aren't gonna be able to say that Cheetor ever was a loser, was ever slacking. You already know I'm better than Silverbolt. I'm better than the Big Bot too. Look at me. Armor from head to toe. I'm the best. Like, he's going nuts. He's already crazy with power. And while he's ranting and raving, guess who sneaks up? Fucking Waspinator. But he's not like flying in. Waspinator's crawling up behind some rocks, and he's aiming his stinger right at Cheetor's back while Cheetor's talking all this cash shit. Tigerhawk sees it though, but there's not enough time to fire back or anything. Tigerhawk jumps in front, gets blasted in the chest, hits him right there, right above the spark chamber, dude. Blasts a hole in...
All right, I got you. I got you one better. Let me help you out with this.
All right, go for it.
So, like, Waspinator's initial attack knocks off one of Cheetor's launchers, like one of Cheetor Miss's special launchers.
Right.
This is what Waspinator is using. This is why Waspinator is able to take down Tigerhawk. Because, like, one blast from his admittedly pretty good butt pistol isn't going to do this. Instead, it's Cheetor's own hubris that is what is injuring Tigerhawk.
Ooh, he's mounted one of the rocket drones.
Yes, exactly.
He's mounted one of the rocket drones too, yeah. And smile, Maximus. Like, and he fires it, and it's literally a camera. And then Black Arachnia is like, "Oh, hello, finally some entertainment."
And she's getting like a live feed from the rocket.
Yeah. She's getting the rocket view camera of it flying towards him and like blowing up near them and everything repeatedly. And right now the whole metal album like, wow, is like kicking in. Like, this is big budget.
And here's the thing. It goes on like that for a while until like one of them just absolutely lodges itself inside of Tigerhawk. And she just goes like, ugh, this is not a view I ever wanted to see.
Exactly. And wait, before it blows up, like, it just does, you hear like the sound of it, you know, hitting him, like almost like a blunt kind of, and then she like looks away from the camera like, ugh, and then it cuts over to Cheetor, and it's just Cheetor's face, and then like the battle mask slides up, and you, instead of seeing him looking all cool and confident, like you've been seeing him sneering and into the camera the whole time, he's just like horrified. Like, he's like pale, like 1,000-yard stare. And then the camera zooms out from his face, and then it zooms through a perfectly shaped hole through Tigerhawk's friggin' chest. And he slumps. And it hard cuts back to Cheetor, and he's just sitting there frozen. And then Waspinator puts a foot on the most powerful Maximal, arguably in the show's quote-unquote corpse. Cackles like the little, you know, the little... Waspinator victorious!
You gotta go the exact same way that Cheetor was just going. So, like, Cheetor was all like... People are finally gonna take me seriously.
Oh, wait. Yeah, exactly. It's like, no! Everyone look down on Waspinator! Now everyone will fear Waspinator! You thought there was nothing but a sting! Waspinator is the whole hive! He's like looking into the rocket camera while yelling all this, and then he's like fires another one, and it doesn't even hit anywhere near them. It's just, he's drunk with power at this point. And Cheetor, who has all like the big power to stop him, is just frozen. Can't do a thing.
At this point, Black Arachnia should have told Rhox, but she just like motions over to Rattrap to like come watch this with her.
Uh-huh. Right, like like at one point she looks over and Rhox, how's it going? Don't ask me to look away now. It's just getting good. And then Rattrap comes up, what'd I miss? And it's like life or death situation on one screen, but like, it just so happens you've got the chick from work that he has spent 2 seasons sexually harassing, and the scumbag who really wouldn't care if everyone woke up with a grenade shoved up their butt, watching him right now, right? And Daddy is nowhere near to come fly in one of his mini modes and save him. So Cheetor is at a loss. Everything he's thinking, oh my god, when the big bot finds out, oh my god, oh no, oh no, dude, no. No. And he's like freaking. Just totally freaking. And then Waspinator looks at him. And he's like, no, Speedy Kitty has nowhere to run. And right when he gets ready to aim and fire, Black Arachnia looks in the camera, rolls her eyes, taps a couple of things on the keyboard, and then we get the down, and he fires the rocket. It flies towards Cheetor. It loops around him twice and hits Waspinator. Blows him to smithy-freaking-reens in the process.
Because she always had control over the rockets.
Because the entire time while she was typing to her boyfriend, turns out Black Arachnia was not just typing to her boyfriend. That took her like 2 seconds. She was actually making sure that she had direct control over those rockets, because while she was watching Speed Demon act like an ass, she also knew that he wasn't going to pay attention to anything that was going on. That's right, the real hero of this episode is actually Black Arachnia. At this point, Waspinator totally neutralized. Cheetor, oh no. Black Arachnia comes over the comms. Listen here, Speedy. If you want to redeem yourself, I suggest you put that guy on your back and get here faster than you've ever done anything else. And I mean really fast. How about faster than you creeped me out the first time I joined your little team?
How about faster than you creeped me out this morning?
How about faster than I rejected you the first time you hit on me? Okay, I get it. You need this done fast.
She doesn't need this done fast.
Exactly. Then she's like, no, you need this done fast. The way I see it, I'm the one that just got to have all the credit for the day. You're the one who needs to redeem himself. So if I were you, I'd be a little more polite.
And then she like high fives. No, she low fives Rattrap.
Like low fries, like just total low five over to Rattrap. Psh, you tell him, sister. Yeah, that's right. He might be a rat, but at least he knows how to teach a scumbag a lesson. Cheetor's just like feeling it right now. It's like, yeah, so I tell you what, kid. The one thing you can do is run. And I mean fast. Because it's clear to me, you don't know when to fight when it's time to. May as well run. This is ultimate insult to injury, right? But now he's got to haul ass. Cheetor is dedicated to this, but it's like, he's got him on his back. He's running. He's just apologizing the whole time. Cheetor has never hauled ass like this before. These big ass titanium claws and shit are ripping into terra firma so hard. He's generating energon charges that are flowing through his body and starting to rip up the armor and shit. Wait.
I am sensing a twist. I am sensing a twist right now that Tigerhawk is just like playing along to give him a hubris lesson.
So he's running and he's hauling ass, right? Dude starts to actually take the fuck off. Now, if you remember, this form of him doesn't really have a stable flight mode, really. But this new armor form, dude, what? Oh, it's like he's got fucking wings, and it zooms out. The camera's like far enough away from him where it's just like a silhouette and everything. So you just see him like rocketing through the freaking sky and shit. And he's like, "Don't worry, I'm gonna get you back in time, Tigerhawk. Don't worry." And then he just freaking barely pulls in, slams into the side of the ship, throws him into the healing chamber, right? Slams the door shut.
And then you like cut to Tigerhawk inside the CR chamber, and he just opens up one eye and kind of laughs.
Yeah, it's like shuts it, and then like Rhox looks at him. You got a lot of explaining to do.
Nah, he goes like, "Wait, what?"
He's like, "Wait, what?
What just happened?"
He was like going into the tank to like heal his fingers after having to type all this new code, and he just gets cut off by Cheetor, like clotheslining Tigerhawk into this chamber to heal. And he's like, Cheetor's sitting there like, like he's run, all the armor's ripped off of him. It's all fallen off. And it's like, the moral of this story, right? The moral of this episode, when you think about it, like, Cheetor doesn't get any comeuppance. Well, he does in a sense. He learns something here. Dude, she'd rather risk your life than pay attention to what you're doing.
Also, get over yourself.
Get over yourself. If what you're gonna do... See, dude, even when you were trying to do something for yourself, she took your hubris and did something for the team. She doesn't think like you think. She doesn't want a showboat. She wants a team player because she is one. That's why she's here. If you want to be a Decepticon, you could go be a Decepticon. If you want to be a Predacon, you can go be a Predacon. She's definitely showed that is a choice. Rattrap just showed you that it's a choice for people to put up with your bullshit. And they proved that people don't have to put up with your bullshit, and they don't have to save you when you get in trouble. Because for this episode to have worked out, the two of them had to have the mercy to go, "Yeah, you got a backup plan?" Psst, of course I do.
Also, the point of planning.
Yeah, the point of a plan, the point of respecting one's teammates, the point of understanding...
I don't know that they taught him how to respect his teammates, because they both just let, like, one of them get shot.
You know, no. All right, maybe not respecting one's... Well, hey, I mean, that's kind of the 90s version of respecting your teammates, because they knew Tigerhawk would have been in on it. That's what, you know, like, the thing is, it's like, this is all to humble the kid. Because, like, come on, even though Waspinator had this moment of, oh, shit, this is actual Waspiterror.
Well, I suppose... Do you have a denouement for this episode? Like that moment at the end where Optimus just has a little chuckle to himself.
Huh. Well, I guess you learned the hard way. Don't bug her. Do-do-do-do-do.
That works. So, what'd you think of my idea?
This was fun. It leaned into my strengths.